Following the success of Mario Tennis Fever, there's been this huge attempt at trying to write this off. We've seen people like come out and make videos saying the game failed. It has not. You've seen people like, coming out and complaining about like the 7 out of 10 scores and saying it's just another Mario Tennis game, right? But one of the criticisms that I haven't talked about yet, and something that I don't think a lot of people have talked about it, is like the age-old cope whenever Nintendo releases another Mario sports games. And you're going to see this like every single time they do another one of these. It's going to be like the big reoccurring thing, I feel, that kind of defines this subgenre of sports games going forward. Like, why did they make Mario Tennis? Why didn't they make another Mario sports game? Every single time they do one of these, you see people pull this nonsense. Like, traditionally, back before like Battle League came out, this came about because of Strikers specifically, and like the community narrative that Strikers was way better than like other Mario sports games. Spoiler alert, it's not. The narrative that like Strikers was this huge, really popular thing that really deserved to come back. Now that we've gotten a new Mario Strikers game, the narrative's kind of like shifted to try to like hype up Mario 3 on 3 and Sluggers. You're seeing more people come out and say that they want to see another Mario baseball game or a basketball game, essentially. I've even seen people say that they want pro wrestling and stuff like that. But for me personally, would you actually buy it? Honestly, because that's kind of my feeling looking at like the success of like Strikers and Mario Tennis and like the Mario Golf. Like, we've seen like several Mario sports games come out over the past several years, and all of them are very good, all of them are very successful, and yet the community just every single time turns its nose up at it for very, very simplistic reasons. Like, I wish it was another sport. We don't need another Mario game, like a Mario Tennis game. Like, they don't have single player content. Like, you see this every single time. And it got old, like, I think even when like Mario Tennis came out. Mario Tennis Aces came out, where like with something like Ultra Smash, it kind of made sense. It kind of felt like it was a byproduct of like the Wii U hate and all that. But like playing Tennis Aces especially, and seeing how good that was, and now seeing Fed Tennis Fever, where I finally got into like Mario Tennis, like what we're seeing now is that like the entire narrative regarding the Mario sports game thing, the idea that they're simplistic games with no content, it has just completely fallen apart. And the reason for that is that like more people are playing this game and they're starting to understand like the actual value of Mario sports games is that they are highly competitive, that they're endlessly replayable, that they're like games you can play with other people essentially. Like, they are party games. They're not meant to be like these lengthy single player RPG experiences. And that's been something that people have tried to do as well, is that say that like like Mario Tennis on Game Boy Color is the best one, like the one that's not even fully 3D, the one that like doesn't really appeal to like the core audience. Like, there's a reason they don't have those lengthy RPG modes in most other Mario sports games. Like, it's not something that appeals to the core audience. So like, again, what we're seeing here is this weird discrepancy between like Mario fans and like sports fans, essentially. And for some reason, Mario fans have this obsession with Mario sports, like feeling like a Mario game, in the sense where like there should be like some extensive story, man, and that there should be some, I don't know, great evil that you have to play tennis against or something. So because of this like unified consensus that like Mario sports games are bad, the narrative shifts into this idea that like Nintendo needs to do something different with the brand. They need to innovate on tennis somehow. And the only way they can do that is by doing another sport entirely. Because that is like the general argument about like Mario Tennis Fever at this point, is that like, why did they make another Mario Tennis game? Sure, they sell well, and sure, people like them, but they could have done a real sport like football. Like you see people like come out and do this nonsense all the time. You see it like all the time in regards to like the discourse around these games. Like, typically, the default response whenever a Mario sports game comes out is to, like, just flail your arms and say that you wish they would do another sport instead. Or in, like, the case of Camelot, like, go back and, like, develop more Golden Sun RPGs instead. Like, it's just, like, it's just silly, okay? It's just positively silly. You're not judging the game based on its own merits. You're judging them based on, like, weird, superficial nonsense that doesn't really matter. Like, you are seriously trying to criticize Mario Tennis for not being an RPG, for not being a Mario baseball game, for not being a Mario, like a mainline single player Mario game, because that's not what this game is. That's never been what these games are. And I just find myself very, very surprised at how much the community is pushing this meme. This idea that Mario Tennis just isn't that popular and that, like, nobody really cares for it, because that's very observably not true. And it really is something that I do think needs to be spelled out for most people. And it's something that I think should be understood going forward, is that the entire mindset that Mario Tennis has failed hinges entirely on this idea that, like, the community would rather play something else. And it completely disrespects, like, the fans of these games. It disrespects the developers. It disrespects Nintendo. It's like, you are really complaining about a Mario Tennis game not being a 3D Mario. It's just, like, it's just unbelievably cringy and something that I don't really respect or take seriously at all. And I feel as if really strongly demonstrates just how corrupt and lazy the game troposphere is. Because we're at the point now where it feels like all the copes around Mario Tennis Fever have just kind of completely collapsed. Like, this is something that was supposed to bomb. This is something that everyone was supposed to hate. This was supposed to be, like, Battle League 2.0. This was supposed to be, like, something that would, like, kind of rile the fan base and keep them upset. But no, this is much like Tennis Aces before. This is another major success story, and the community is just having a problem with that. The community cannot accept that Mario Tennis is a successful Mario spin-off title series, and they have to sit there and try and downplay it, because acknowledging that Mario sports games are successful would be hugely detrimental to their overall narrative. That Nintendo can't compete in this sphere, that they can't do well, that they can't produce anything that people actually want to play, that Mario sports games have fallen off. If Mario sports games are allowed to do well, that would be a major blow against the narrative that Nintendo can't produce games that appeal to a mass audience.